Oh, what's up, everybody? Uh, Definitely gonna do that after we end this show. Nephew, just wait for Jen to come on, and once Jen comes on, we can go make this happen. Also, if you all see that, see in the hold on one second. Okay.
Are we live?
Yeah, we live.
Oops, si no soy yo. Me siento estúpido, ilógico. Okay, back to work. Hi, so we live on Facebook. Is that what we doing right now?
Yep, we live on Facebook.
Nice. Is anybody in the room yet?
Yes, we got people in the room.
Nice. So today's topic is y'all gonna get mad today. I'm gonna piss some people off today. My specialty. Let me get comfortable. Okay, so today's topic is should wealthy men be allowed to, and somebody may have a problem with the word allow, but should wealthy men be allowed to have multiple women? And we'll see how that conversation goes. We'll see.
Shalom McKenna said absolutely not.
We'll see how who said absolutely not?
Perspectives. Shalonda McKenna. She said absolutely not.
Okay, so okay, Shalonda, why? We need to hear why. You can either come on the panel or tell us in the comments, why do you think absolutely not? He's wealthy. Hasn't he earned the right to do what he wants, where he wants, who he wants?
So basically, it's like,
Here you go. That's better color, right? Okay.
You said what?
Nothing. Go on. I'm always messing with my lights.
No, so basically, it's like, would a woman prefer to be with a guy who's broke, or be with a guy, be the side piece to a wealthy man?
I think a lot of women, honestly, sadly, as sad as it sounds, I think a lot of women prefer to be the side piece of a wealthy man. Of course, we see it all the time. But what is that woman seeking? Is the woman just simply seeking stability?
But most times, that's what most women are seeking, stability, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I think some women will get it wherever they can, and that's from a wealthy married man or a single wealthy man who's seeing a lot of women. They're gonna get, they're gonna get it where they can, I think.
So I'm posting the link if you want to come into the room and post your opinion.
I need like a glass of wine.
Sangria.
I like white sangria.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
It's very yummy. I'm not a fan of red wine. But back to the topic. Right? And also, what's up, Angela, mi amore? So, and also, does race play a factor here? Because I have my opinion.
What's your opinion on that? Well, you want to hold? Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to wait to get more people in the room?
Yeah, you want to hold your opinion until we hear from a couple of people, hear what they have to say. What's going on? Solanda, you come on in the room. Solanda, she said a secure wise man, only an insecure man will want multiple women. So I would like to know. If to make a statement like that, I would like to know if we would have to go back to the topic we dealt with a couple of days ago, which is religion. Because all throughout the Bible, you had the prophets of God had multiple wives.
Yeah, but I think in a patriarchal society, men are always going to co-sign having multiple women. You know that. That has nothing to do with religion.
Right. But I'm saying, like, for us, this may not have to do with anything to do with religion. But some people who claim, who claim a religion,
I mean, I think everyone has a reason for why they do what they do. Some men, use religion. Some men just use I'm wealthy.
Right.
Also, Solanda said a secure man would want multiple women. I don't think that's always the case.
She said an insecure, right?
Right, an insecure man. I don't think that's always the case, because I do think that variety is the spice of life. And I've said, jokingly, but who knows what the future holds. I've said jokingly, I'd prefer to be a rich old woman and just date around.
And just what?
And date around. Not worry about, dealing with relationships that I can't control and are going to be emotionally draining. Like, relationships are hard. So if I was, in a very, abundant tax bracket, am I going to be looking for a husband, or am I going to be looking to travel and shop and have fun and keep creating and then, smash every now and then?
Good point.
Haha,
don't play. Don't go there. You want to come into the room, Shalonda? Come into the room.
Solanda, come on in. Let's hear it. Straight from the host's mouth. Okay, so.
Here she is.
Oh, welcome.
Hi.
We got
I'm
here.
Yeah,
just for a second.
Okay.
Normally I don't even.
Yeah.
Am I on?
Turn your there's an echo coming from your laptop.
Let me turn it down.
Okay.
You should be good though.
Yeah, I hear that.
Is that better?
Way better, yes.
Okay. I typically don't get on Facebook. I just so happened to stroll down, and then I saw Mark come up.
Well, we're glad you're here because we definitely need the input.
How about now?
You're good. You're perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my thought about should a wealthy man have multiple women? And this is my opinion.
That's all we got is our opinion.
We waiting.
I think a man who's not sure who he is would want multiple women. When a man is secure within himself, he doesn't look for multiple women to validate him. I think when you know who you are okay with just finding that one woman who will fit your desire. But when you have to have multiple ones, then there's something within you that's a problem.
So here's my thing. I don't. Most times, right? Men want validation from that one woman that he cares about, the one woman that he loves, right? All the other women, he's not looking for validation from those women. It's more so his sex, and that would even the sex part would determine what he's getting at home, right? So that would determine what what's happening at his household. But most times it's not like for men, it's not the validation that he needs. It's just I think with something what Jan says, it's just a variety of different women.
Now let me ask you this. let me ask you this, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you just said that men want the validation from the one woman they love, right? That's what's important to them. But then you said they just want sex from the other women. So please explain to me, because I'm not a man, right? Please explain to me, right? A nut is a nut, right? The end result. I don't mean how you get to the nut. I mean the end result of a nut is a nut, right? So in the dark, whether you're with your wife or that woman or that woman and that woman, aren't you basically the goal is the same result? So why do you need other? Then you have to explain that. You have to explain that.
Because you heard the phrase, right? Now, I'm just speaking. Don't think these are these not even my opinions, right? I'm just
you're the penis here, so
right. Okay. So here's the thing. You're
right now.
And I always got to use this example, right? When this movie with I keep forgetting the name of this movie though, with Halle Berry and Bruce Willis, right? Remember that movie? It was a movie with Halle Berry and Bruce Willis. It was a pretty good movie. So Halle Berry is at this party, right? And at this party, Bruce Willis was like this. He was a very, very powerful and wealthy man. And his wife was extremely beautiful, right? But Bruce Willis was messing around with these different women. He saw Halle Berry come into the party. She was looking ordinary, but he was still attracted to her. Mm-hmm. And then Halle Berry said, "Why does he cheat? And his wife is so beautiful." And she asked that to Bruce Willis's secretary, and she said, Bruce Willis's secretary told him, "You stroke a man's ego, you can have him forever. But if you stroke his, excuse my language, if you stroke his penis, but she uses you can get him for one night, right?" So a man can have sex and get up and leave and don't think nothing of it. No emotions, no attachments, no emotions. Just get up, have sex, and so here's the thing: how when you're in the circuit, right? You're talking to different men. You know what we say? When There's no better than new. There's no.
Make it make sense though. Make it make sense. Why? If it doesn't isn't it again the end result? I'm gonna try to curb my words here, but you're gonna put it somewhere warm and wet, right? Your wife is warm and wet, so you have to make it make sense. What do you mean new? The lights are off.
No, it's not. It's more. I think it's more of a psychology. You see, we don't try like as men, right? We don't try to make sense of when we trying to conquer a woman. We don't try to make sense of it.
What are you, 5 years old?
It goes back to what I said: insecure, and
we just
immature, immature.
We just know she looks good. We just know, as men, we know she looks good. We know we want her. You know
okay, so then now Salanda, is that how you say your name, Salanda? Salanda. Okay,
Yeah.
so now Salanda is making sense. Then it sounds like if you can't even rationalize it and you're just doing it does sound like immaturity. It sounds like something children do. I don't know what's going to happen when I throw this toy out the window. I want to throw it.
But you all say it all the time. You all say it all the time. No matter, you all hear from when you talk to your homegirls, right? And you talking to your girlfriend. See, he act like a kid. He act like a kid.
True.
I ain't trying to justify it. I'm just keeping it real.
True. The man child.
First of all, how much time does he really have to have multiple women? That's a headache.
It is
Because women, we're complicated already. So the fact that he wants to take on multiple women, that means he has a lot of time on his hands and he's ready to deal with stress. One woman is enough. If he's dealing with the first woman, right, he don't have enough time to have multiple women.
Well, the thing is, sometimes it's like he's trying to relieve himself of the stress with that other woman. He's trying to relieve himself because maybe the stress that he feels that he's getting is the stress at home, right?
You mean get to party with no strings attached?
Party with no strings attached. Who's that? Howard Hughes said, he was like, "Look, I'm just gonna just have women come up, and I'm not gonna get married. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just gonna just have me some different women come in and out with no strings attached."
He must be dealing with young women.
How are you?
He's not dealing with mature. That's a different type of woman he's dealing with. He's not dealing with.
He wasn't dealing with no women at all. He just had multiple women in his lives. He didn't have no main woman. He was like, look, this is the life I want.
Well, how many women? What type of woman be willing to take on that to accept that?
He's a billionaire. When you're a billionaire,
but see, when a woman knows who she is, she don't care if you're a billionaire, trillionaire. There's just certain things she's not willing to accept.
But there are
unfortunately, there's an abundance
of women.
That's true.
And women who just want to shop.
Yeah.
And women who just want to brag. And like there are a lot more of them than there is of us. A lot more.
Because women are
shallow. They're very shallow.
Right. Some of these women are
as shallow as he is. Yeah.
Right. Some of these women are like, look, this is what I want. Like, I ain't going home to no broke dude. None of that. I get my money. I get my time. I got my space. He got me an allowance. I don't have that headache. Some women like that. They enjoy that type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Some women want the to be home and to be a housewife, which is nothing wrong with that at all. But you have these women who are like, long as he's taking care of me, long as he give me an allowance, long as he's got me looking good, give me some red bottoms, Gucci purse, whatever, I'm cool with that.
Kay Robinson said, hell, poor ones do. Poor ones have multiple women.
Exactly. So another thing too is that women are like, some women think like this. Shit, if I get a broke man, he ain't gonna do nothing but cheat.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Well, I might as well be, paid while he's doing what he's gonna do, because how many of y'all
where y'all finding these women at? I mean, like, where are you finding that? People think like that. I mean, it sounds like something from like Hip Hop Atlanta or someplace, but I mean, like,
where you from?
Finding these women?
Those are real people on Hip Hop Atlanta. So they living their real life. So you know if they're living their life, there are people out there that actually live a life like that.
But remember, way before reality shows and before social media, we had talk shows where women would go on like the sugar babies and the women that is like, I don't want any strings attached. I'm not going to wash this man's drawers. I just want to shop. So those women, you know, they've been around forever. It's just now out in the open. But I've heard women say, I bet you got cheated on by a broke guy. And I think all women can say, yeah. Yeah, it's happened. A dude that wasn't a millionaire, you know what I'm saying, was a dog. So I guess it's like,
Shalonda, let me ask you a question. Who would you prefer to get cheated on by? I mean, I know you not to be cheated on. I know that. I'm just using this hypothetically speaking. If you had between the two, a broke man or a wealthy man? Does she hear me?
Cricket.
Just like, I am not playing this game with you.
Yeah. What about you?
Send me on.
Shalonda, you okay? Can she hear me?
What did you say, Mark?
I said, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What did you say?
I had a question for you.
Are you okay?
Oh, go ahead, shoot. I'm ready.
I know that you prefer not to be cheated on at all, right? But if there was a choice, multiple choice, right? If you had the option of being cheated on by a wealthy man or a broke man, which one would you prefer?
Neither. I don't want to be cheated on. I don't want to be cheated on. I don't want to be cheated on at all. But I have been cheated on, and it wasn't necessarily a wealthy person. I think again, it just goes back to if you're dealing with a person who.
Do you wish he was wealthy? Say for instance, if he were wealthy, right? And you had the possibility of suing this man and getting some money from the pain that he put you through. Mm-hmm. Would you have done that?
I think it would have to. I mean, if I was to speak honestly, I want to be able to get something from the deal after the fact. That's the first reaction. That's the first emotion. It's like, okay, what can I gain after this? But again, I would have to look at how I'm being treated throughout the whole entire relationship. I mean, everybody make a mistake. If it's a one-time deal and it's like, okay, you're human. We all make mistakes. But if it's multiple and I'm being disrespected, then at that point, it doesn't matter. No.
Never leave a man because he cheated once.
I wouldn't cheat him. I wouldn't leave him, but I'm going to go cheat. And then he could decide if we could work it out. Then he could decide and we could both get over it together. One big happy family. Remember that meme that was floating around of Vanessa Bryant, Ludacris's wife, and Gabrielle Union. And it said women heal like Wolverine when they're married to wealthy men, because all three of the men cheated on these women, but they were still together, happily married. So there was like women heal like Wolverine when they got a rich guy cheating on them. What do you think about that? Do you think it's easier to take when you're sitting in a mansion that your man strayed? You think it's easier to handle? Like, okay, let me just go down to Neiman Marcus.
Here's the thing. You can have all the money in the world. You can have I know people who've had the nice house, a nice car, and all the things that you thought that you might have wanted. And then only to have that someone cheat on you. And then you're in this house by yourself and you know what's going on, but yet you're suppressing these emotions and feelings. And you're thinking about, okay, I have this purse, or I have red bottom shoes, or I'm driving a nice car, or I'm able to go to a restaurant. What good does it? It means nothing. You just got stuff. It's like you can be in a house with everything in it, but there by yourself. It's meaningless. It's always good to be able to share that with someone that you who's giving it back to you. Not so much of the stuff, but just who's connecting with you.
Right. Ayana Asante says, can women do it too? I say yes.
Can women do what?
Can women have multiple boyfriends if they're wealthy? I say yes, absolutely.
They do it all day long. They say Lady Bird heads all kind of dudes. Lady Bird, was that Lyndon Johnson's wife? the first lady.
Dion Simmons says it's not about finances. What is it about then, Dion?
It's definitely about finance because a woman can, she could again, like those women you just named who are on that meme, if they were cheated on by a dude who didn't have the status or the money that those men had, and they looked the same. I mean, they were as beautiful as they are now. You think they would stay with those dudes?
50-50. I think it's 50-50 because they have options, but then it depends how deep the guy got into their mind.
True.
So it's 50-50, you know, because those women, they got men after them all the damn time. Like, what happened to you? You look sad, you know.
Yeah.
Ayana says a broke man shouldn't have multiple wives. They don't do it in Africa. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Shit, you don't got like.
Dion, there's a link on top of this live that you could click on.
Tell them I just posted too.
Dion said women are emotional because men aren't.
Well, I think that goes both ways. The times we're living in now, there are some women who's not emotional at all. They figure it as if men are doing it. I'm doing it the same way. They just as hard. That's the unfortunate part. That's the time we're living in.
Yeah, but it's still they say that until you get deeper into the relationship, and then the fatal attraction comes out. They say that women say, okay, I'm your. They always like women have. I think they have always done this, right? When they know they get into a relationship with a guy who has a woman, and they say, well, it is what is going to be. With no strings attached, we're just going to hook up, have sex, whatever. But down the line, the woman always 99.99% of the time, she becomes emotional attached to that man because women are built different. They just don't, women just, when a man is going into a woman, he's put himself into that woman, and she just naturally becomes attached to that woman. I mean, to that man. Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm married now. I couldn't date in this world. I couldn't do it.
Amanda's like, I'm so glad I'm not involved in the bullshit that y'all got going on.
I couldn't do it.
I would say again, I think age plays a factor. I think options play a factor. If you're going inside of a beautiful woman's body who has two of you on the side and another guy that's wealthy over there, she's not going to be attached to you. She's going to be attached to the best case scenario.
You talk about a woman who has multiple men?
No, you said that a woman could be with a guy who has another woman, and the woman would be like, oh, I'm not going to get emotional. And then you said after a while of them making love, she's going to get emotional. And I said, I think age plays a factor. And also, what options does that woman have on the side? If there's nobody else, right, and she's young, perhaps. But if she's older and she has options, perhaps not.
No. Most times. There are some exceptions to the rule. But most times women are going to get attached. It's just reality.
Well, to a man, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We don't know which one.
But see some of these situations, right, when a woman gets so attached to married men, and they get to the point where, and men do it too, but they get to the point where if I can't have you, nobody can have you. Just like that one brother who was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. He was in the NFL, and he was.
Oh, I'm supposed to watch that tonight. His story's gonna be on tonight. McNabb.
Right. Yeah. Donovan McNabb?
Yeah, his killed him.
No. Donovan McNabb was from Chicago, right?
I know his last name is McNabb. I don't know.
McNabb. Steve McNabb. Yeah, nobody can have you. Just like that one brother who was played in he was in the NFL, and he was.
Oh, I'm supposed to watch that tonight. His story's gonna be on. Is that you?
That's not me.
What?
There's an echo.
No, I hear it. It's like once someone talks, you can hear it go back around, like a second go around. It's not me.
Can you hear me? So it's going now.
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
It double plays.
Yeah, so
Dion said age has nothing to do with it. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Because younger women are more vulnerable, okay,
Yes.
getting stigmatized. It absolutely does.
oh my God, tell Camille to come up in here.
Once a woman is mid-40s and over, okay, you're not gonna find a woman mid-40s and over getting whipped and stigmatized. She has things to do. She has grown children, probably has grandchildren. So age is a huge factor. The way I would have reacted in my teens and in my 20s is no way in hell how I would react today. I mean, I've stabbed dudes /tires /rag tops on cars, thrown and today I'm like, is that what you want to do? All right, your choice. Goodbye.
Camille,
Age is a huge factor.
Camille, press that link and come in.
Huge factor. Ages for everybody, for all of us.
So you said in your 20s you would have acted up.
Oh, in my early 20s, I was a mess. Like, you know, I feel bad for anybody I date.
You're not alone, Jen. You're not alone. We're always a mess at 20. I was a mess at 17.
Right. I should call my ex and be like, I'm sorry.
You apologize.
I'm sorry. Like, but yeah, age plays a huge factor. You get older, you got shit to do, you got bills, life is different. Life is so different. No, but you know, in our young years, we were, I mean, come on. Why you didn't call me back? You know, it was bad. Like every now and then I relapse, but you know, it happens.
You say you relapse?
You can't shake it all away, but it's like you gotta like, I don't like how handcuffs feel. I'm gonna chill today. I'm gonna chill.
Camille talking all this stuff. Come on, Camille. I love that.
I have to go.
Oh,
Nice talking to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Mark.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dion, I can't communicate what you just saying. That's not true, Jen. I have no idea what you're saying is not true. You got come in the room.
Come in the room. That's the link. We just posted the link. Come in the room.
I don't know what everything I say. He's like, that's not true. I don't know what he's saying.
So we post the link for you all to come in the room. You know, come up in the room. Let's have this conversation. So
Camille Janifa Bradshaw said, absolutely not true. There are young women who are more mature than some 60-year-olds. Well, you can't use the word absolutely. You can say that's not always the case, but you can't say absolutely. You can say that's not always the case. But of course, I could find a 16-year-old that's mature. But that's not nature. That's not the majority. The majority of teenagers and early 20-somethings are immature. That's the nature of the human being. But yeah, can I find a 10-year-old?
There's always exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, absolutely, there are exceptions to the rule. I've spoken to little kids that are like, "Oh my God, you're so wise for 7," but not absolutely not true, because the majority of teenagers in early 20s, we don't know what we want. We're still trying to figure out the love thing and the sex thing. And
she said, "You said absolutely."
Huh?
She said, "You said absolutely."
No, it's right here. It says absolutely not true. Under her name, it says absolutely not true. There are young women who are more mature than 60-year-olds. That's what I'm reading her words. It says absolutely not true.
Yeah, I'm just saying what she said.
I don't know.
Do you still come here last? I guess.
Huh? You can come on, Camille. Sarah said you stay cutting people off.
I'm sorry. Camille, what's Camille?
Dion says you said it was about age. It's about experience and exposure. Okay, well, the majority of the time at the age of teen, at early 20s, people are immature. The majority of the time. Now, can I take a 10-year-old and have a conversation with them? They sound like a 25, 35-year-old to be wise? Yes.
Right. Right. So,
no, but it's like, yes, there are exceptions to the rules. I know a 60-year-old that's immature. Yes, there are exceptions to the rules, but the majority, there's stages of a human being.
Right.
In nature, there's stages of human beings. You crawl first, then you walk, and then you run, and then you start learning yourself. Then you go through puberty, and then you go through your teenage years, and so yeah. But now, can I take a 5-year-old and in Iraq and put an AK in his hand and have him killing people like an adult by the time he's 10? Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are some 7-year-olds over in some countries with AK-47s.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can take a 5-year-old and make him a killer by 10. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But we're talking here about under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances.
And someone in their early 20s doesn't have it figured out yet, the majority of the time. So I'll speak for that. When I was a teenager and I was in my early 20s, I didn't have it figured out, right? I was a regular teenage 20-something-year-old, you know what I mean? Crazy in love and all kinds of stuff. Now, with my age and maturity, yeah, I'm different now, of course. Like I totally understand the concept of not wanting when you're older and you're well off. I understand the concept of having money and not wanting to be bothered with emotional things. So you just like smash around and then you get back to your business. So I get the concept of that, but I also know that, couples get further. Now I know people are going to say, that's not true. Not all couples get further. I know that. I know there are exceptions to the rule, but there's evidence that shows couples that work together get further along financially.
Oh, that's just a fact.
There's proof of that. But I know people are gonna say that's not true because people get divorced, and I know that.
What's something's good? I don't know if I'm sure you probably have read it, but it's called The Transmutation of I think it's The Transmutation of Sex by Napoleon Hill. It's like you read the
book about sex? Napoleon?
No. He wrote a book. It's in Think and Grow Rich, but I think it's one of the chapters.
As in gender.
No. So Napoleon Hill wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, right? But different chapters, right? There's a chapter called Transmutation of Sex, and he's talking about exactly what you're saying. How men who are more powerful, men who are more successful, always have that woman, and how women inspire and encourage men to be more successful. But he was saying what you were saying, that most men who are successful, and this is for of course, when he did this book, it was over 20 to 30 years of research. So he interviewed some of the most successful people in the world at that time, and then this is what he concluded, that men who are married are normally most times are more successful. It's just a fact.
So do you think that someone say
Camille, check your email. I just sent the link to your email if it's not working in the room. I'm sorry, Jan.
Deanna, you coming in today?
What was your question, Jan?
Do you think that people like Diddy and 50 Cent, right? Do you think that they would have been even more wealthy had they locked down with a good woman?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because there are always exceptions to the rule, right? You know what I'm saying? And but if you look at like the most wealthiest, right? When you talk about Robert Smith, he's a brother, he's worth billions, 5 billions. But not outside of that, right? You look at let's just get away from, because again, entertainment is kind of different, because when you're looking at entertainment, right? Most black people here in America get rich off of entertainment. But if you go to Africa, you're dealing with a different type of richness, right? So you're dealing with like the Aliko Dangote, you're dealing with those black billionaires, right? Who are worth, he's worth what, $25 billion freaking dollars. But he was married at one time, but now he's divorced. But you're looking at these men who are all the time, they're married to women, and these are billionaires.
But Rob Smith didn't get wealthy off of entertainment.
No, I say he's an exception.
Right.
Yeah, but most times, yeah.
Okie dokie.
But I was using him because he is married. He's a married man, but he's the wealthiest black man here in America.
Sarah said, isn't that the same book where they also said a commonality that all of the richest people had was they truly believed in their heart they would be successful, not just think it, but actually know for a fact.
Absolutely.
I'm about to be rich then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know that shit.
And not only were the book is really good, but not only like with these men, but he talks about how he talks. The book is dealing with the power of the woman, not the book, but that chapter is a really good piece to read. Sarah, Fayed said, "What's up, Fayed? Man, Fayed went to high school together. Used to wrestle together. Fayed." You read the comments?
Yes. Okay. So it's okay in your opinion that women do it too, right?
What you mean? Is my opinion that women should do it?
No, that they can do it too without any
They can
stigma.
do anything they want to do, but don't make like we can do anything we want to. Don't make it right.
So it's right when men do it, but not right
No,
when
no,
women do it.
I'm not saying that. I said I'm not even saying this right when men do it. I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying we can do what we want to do. That doesn't mean that it's right. You know what I'm saying? If women want to do that, but women, again, women, as you already know, you all are built differently than men. Like men, we can go and sleep around, go wherever we sleep around and think nothing of it and forget your name the next day. Women, there was this movie called Up in the Air with why you just keep talking about movies? This is
No, it's funny because all film people, we tell stories through film. We always do. It's like that movie.
yeah. So have you seen? Also, this is with what's the dude? He was in. Oh my God. He's an Italian guy. He's very, 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 very famous.
What's the movie about? Just tell me.
So the movie is basically about this guy, right? He meets this woman on a plane, and they go into the same city. So they spend like this weekend in this city, and he starts to fall for her, and they have sex, and they're, so it makes you think that this is a big love story. So he started to fall for this woman, and all the time he's like, he didn't want a real serious relationship, but he fell for her, right? And so she was like, okay. So after but they were on a business trip together. So after the business trip, she left, she went back home. So this dude, he looked up her name up, he tracked her down, find out where she lived. This man went over to her house, and her husband opens the door.
And then
the end. It was with it was a really, I was like, this, but it was but he goes to the door, knocks on the door, and her husband opens the door. He was like, oh, and asks for her. She comes to the door. She's like, yeah, what's going on? She comes out. She's like, well, we did what back there it was back there. Like, leave it back there. This is my family. Don't come here again. Went inside the house, closed the door, and he left. The end.
Do you think that there's a culture or a conditioning of Black men and wealth associated to just running out and being dogs as soon as they get wealthy? Do you think culture supports that?
Not for most Black men, no.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, so let's discuss entertainment. You don't think that when rappers and athletes get those first contracts, they're all at the titty bars, they're all in the Instagram models DMs, they all have, most of them have multiple baby mamas, and it's not frowned upon, say like a Future, or you don't think there's a culture that supports like men in titty bars, throwing $50,000 on women, whereas before when they were still in the hood, they weren't thinking about dating multiple women. But then as soon as they get money, it's like, is there a difference between new white millionaires and new Black millionaires? Are Black millionaires more careless with their image and their sperm and their money?
Well, the thing is that yes, because and here's the reason why. If we want to look at entertainment, right? Because that's where most of Black wealth comes from, is from entertainment.
Right. So we got to look there then.
So we have to look at entertainment. So it's like when it comes to Black athletes, right? Black athletes, 85% of Black athletes lose their wealth or their money 3 years after they leave the sport that they're in. There are some, but again, there are some exceptions to the rule. You have Magic Johnson, you have Michael Jordan, even though he lost some of his wealth, but again, he's still a billionaire.
Right.
But you have but if you look at the super wealthy Black men who are in sport, most of them are married. And you don't hear a lot of stories about them throwing and tossing their money. You don't see, you hear stories, but you don't see Magic Johnson you didn't hear stories about Magic Johnson tossing money in the club. But you look at the Isaiah Thomas of the world, those athletes, right, who are married, who have a family, these men are normally, the cream of the crop. And the reason why they're cream of the crop is because they were very careful in picking the women that made them better men. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at most of the men who normally go broke, then those are the men you're referring to who, even though they were very famous, but again, they had problems with women. They had different multiple baby mamas. You saw them in the club. They always trying to showboat, so forth and so on. And they just go because with fame and with fortune comes a lot of responsibility. If you're not keeping up with that responsibility, it's like getting in a car and driving to a brick wall, killing yourself. So there's a difference. But again, there's always these exceptions, but you have the cream of the crop are usually the ones who don't live that type of lifestyle. Right.
Do you think that is harmful to the culture and the race in general?
Absolutely.
How so?
Because you're looking at like with us, right? Like there are certain projects that we like there are certain projects or certain images that we like to put out, right? Athletes, right, most times don't have black agents. So a lot of them, because they don't have Black agents, they don't have people who are really looking out for their community. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that they ask the Black athlete to do. Do this and take on this organization. But in terms of building wealth, in terms of investing your money in the proper place, so they don't have a problem with these dudes spending $100,000 in throwing away $100,000 in the club. They don't have a problem with these dudes having multiple baby moms, as long as they get their 15%. These men are being used, right? And they allow themselves to be used. You know what I'm saying? But what's the effect of that? The effect of that is what happens if you take that $100,000, you take it and you invest it on the block that you're from. You know what I'm saying? Just building up and investing into the real estate. You take all these athletes and but if you give them agents, right, and give them the proper direction, absolutely, it would benefit the people. But because they don't have the proper direction, and because they out here being wild, you have a community that suffers from it. Because that's where our wealth is at.
Desi Vita Yvette says men are going to have
Christina, come on in here, Christina.
Men are going to have that mindset, wealthy or poor. If they are throwing money in the strip clubs wealthy, they thought about it when they were broke.
Absolutely, because you are what it's a thought. Because here's the thing. The thing is, just think about the many times, right? The many times when you want to sleep at night, right? Or when we go to sleep at night, it's like you see yourself, like everybody. This is why I say, like, when people win awards and say, "Well, I never thought I'd do this." That's BS. Every time you lay down in the bed, you saw yourself winning an Oscar or whatever award that you were after. You saw yourself before it even happened. So if these dudes who were in high school at the time, and they knew they were going to go pro, or They saw themselves doing it. They saw themselves driving the expensive car. They saw themselves living in that mansion. They saw themselves going to that strip club, tossing that money to the air. They saw themselves with these different type of women. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, of course. But they had that, it's that poor mentality, that poor type of thinking. Like,
let me ask you, why is it, why, this is what always gets me. Why is the lifestyle so redundant? Like, it's never changing. Like, it's like, some things are ever changing and ever evolving. Like, it's never changing. For like 100 years, it has been broke guy, has the ability to play ball, get sports contract, hits the titty bar, hits Gucci, hits Louis Vuitton, hits Prada, hits the mansion, hits the Mercedes-Benz. Like, why is the lifestyle so redundant? Like, you could literally just change the face, but it's the same exact behavior and the same exact, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so redundant. It's literally like, okay, we're going to switch you out because the guy behind you is going to do the same exact thing with the same amount of money, with the same type of women, with the same car, with the same appointments at Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Like, why is it so redundant? It's bizarre to me. It's like a conveyor belt of stupidity. And it's like they all see the guy before them, then they go do it, then the other guy's coming up and he does it. It's like, why is that with Black men specifically? Why is the lifestyle so redundant?
Because there's no direction. Okay, let me give you an example, right? If you look and there's basically no direction, and there's this they don't possess what we all know, right? Is the knowledge of self or who you are, right? Once you possess the knowledge of self and who you are, then of course you're going to respect and you're going to honor yourself way more. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And you respect, and you're going to honor your community, and you'll honor the women in your community. You'll honor the children in your community, in the place that you're from. So you take example. You take Muhammad Ali, for example. What made Muhammad Ali the greatest? What made him different than any other athlete? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Why is he so respected? And when people, what's the other brother's name? Jim Brown. What made these athletes different than the athletes we have? Most of the athletes we have now. You know what I'm saying? It's because these men studied, these men read, these men had appreciation and for their Blackness. They knew who they were. You know what I'm saying? But if you're an athlete, right, and you go into or entertainer, and you're in this world, right, and you don't know who you are, like most of them don't even think about, because their world changes so quickly. They don't even see racism.
Okay.
You say they don't even see it because the people who are around them are nice to them. The white people who are around them are nice to them. So in their mind, it's like, well, they're nice to me. So they see racism based off how they're treated, not based off how their community and how their people treated.
Right. So, Lil Wayne said something like that. Asked them about race and Black Lives Matters. He was like, you don't see none of that shit. He's rich, and
because he's been rich all of his life. Like the man has been wealthy since he was 13 years old.
Right.
Well, at least in that lifestyle. So if you were raised in that lifestyle, it's like the only color you really know is green. And it's like, okay, like we adapt this thinking. If I did it, this is Rodney Perry.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. What's up,
you want to come in?
I don't know. I guess.
I guess you in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We great, brother. How are you?
Good to see you.
What y'all talk about?
Ooh. We're talking about, should wealthy men be allowed to have multiple women without a stigma attached?
Is there a stigma? I mean, rich dudes always have whatever they want. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
And the women they have is cool with it. Hey, I once worked on a TV show, right? The main dude his baby mama was around, his wife was around, and his other child, and the harmony they moved in was amazing to me.
Really?
Like these women had zero beef. Meanwhile, my wife and my ex hate each other, and I was like, "Yo, this is amazing how he got." But the fact that he had so much money made everybody kind of just chill.
I see that with Diddy and all his baby mothers. Like they're all very happy to hang out and co-parent.
I mean, I guess it just makes sense, and it's like, you know, even in societies where it's not frowned on to have multiple spouses, it's all based on what you can afford. Like it's cultures in Africa that they have multiple wives, but you can only have multiple wives if you can afford each and every one of them. And so I think for men that can afford it, why not? My wife ain't gonna go for it, but you know.
No matter how much money you make?
I don't want nobody else. Look, I don't want to take the time to get to know a new person. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how long you and your wife been married? Like
23 years.
Yeah.
23.
Is she from Chicago?
No, she's
Okay.
from Louisiana. I met her when I was in the Navy down in Louisiana.
23 years, man. That's love.
Rodney's like, I don't want no problems.
I mean, it's love, it's hate, it's acquiescent, it's compromise, it's a lot of things, you know.
That's the realest thing ever. It's love, it's hate. That's the realest thing.
It's a lot of things. You know, I just did an interview before I came on here, and they asked me, you know, what the secret. To me, the secret to a long relationship is not arriving at the place where you don't want to be there at the same time. If two people, inevitably you're gonna get to that place. You're gonna be like, I don't want to be here. But if she's not there, if somebody wants to work it out, it can work. It can work out. I believe.
Now, how do you feel about wealthy women having multiple men?
I mean, that's a loaded question. I'm completely against it, Jen.
Why?
Because I know.
You want to know why?
No. To be honest, this is the reality. And this is true whether it's wealthy or not. Women with multiple guys is always looked at as kind of a whore. And it's not fair, but it's a fact. You feel me? Like I don't think it's fair, the stigma that women have to deal with, but I think it's more than true. And it's not just men that inflict it on women, women inflict it on themselves.
How do women inflict it on themselves?
Because women judge you the same. Women judge more harshly than men. Other women.
Good point.
Other women are like, oh, you got what? Oh, she, you know, and when I wouldn't say that, like I've met guys in my lifetime, they will have, you know, maybe have sex with a woman on the first date, right? Some guys immediately, because she gave it up, they going, she's a hoe. And then there's another set of guys that went, it's something that I said or did that caused it to happen, and she was kind of acting outside herself. I don't know which guy is right, but there are two different schools of thought.
It's the energy. It's the energy of the man. So that's what we do. We make a mistake by that. When the women are naturally attracted to men with alpha energy, with that masculine energy. And sometimes she just say shit, you know, and that could be like that first time, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that she done it with the guy, but it's just something about that guy, you know, that she likes, the masculine energy that he puts off. So they may meet at a club and, you know, they may hit it off and you're like, okay, boom, it is what it is.
I mean, again, it's not fair. I'm a father of 5 girls.
Right.
So everything is harder for women. I have a son. I have 1 son.
Okay.
But what I know raising my daughters is that everything is harder for women. Everything.
Right.
And so once you wrap your mind around that, you know, my guidance to my girls is to just stay savvy. But what you can't factor in is love. My daughter's in love with a little dude now, and I can't say nothing to her she knows that they're going to be together the rest of their life. And I had to really put all my baggage to the back and be like, you know what? Maybe you're the one in 50,000 that meets at age 16 and actually lives a lifetime together. Maybe. So I had to take myself out of it. The reality in me says, y'all ain't gonna make it.
You told her that already?
Huh?
You told her that?
Yeah. I mean, but what I had to stop myself is injecting my baggage into her purity.
Oh yeah.
Her pure love. Her pure love says we can conquer all. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you can. Maybe you can. And I just, as a father, I just got to be there when he proves me right and is a horrible nigga.
I hope not.
It's coming.
Sharana Sales says women are not designed to have multiple men. There is no need in capital letters.
I agree with it.
Like I said, women are way tougher on other women than men are. Like even in my,
I disagree with her.
You don't think women are harder on women?
No, I agree with you. I disagree with her. She said women are not designed to have multiple men. If you have a vagina and a man has a penis, y'all can use it as often as y'all want. Like,
Hold on, Jen. Hold on, Jen. That's not entirely true, Jen. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Vagina is wonderful. Okay.
I wouldn't know, but I'm taking your word for it.
Trust me. Vagina is wonderful. Vagina is only bad when it has multiple dicks.
Okay, go on. I'll let you finish.
In any woman that's ever that you've ever had an odor or a smell, it's not because the vagina cleans itself. When men bring in bacteria into your life, into your area, that's what causes odors and scents and stuff like that. And so I'm of the firm belief that if you have men pollute the vagina, so a woman can't do what men do and have multiple partners because she's really polluting her vagina.
Because she receives.
I'll say this. I have to disagree, right?
Okay.
But because it depends, in my opinion, how a woman takes care of her vagina. Now, if you're going to have unprotected sex with multiple men, yes, men will dump in you. But let's say a porn star who has multiple partners using protection and does Kegel exercises, that vagina is going to feel brand new to you.
No, I'm not saying it's going to feel great because it's wonderful. But like you started, men dumping in you is a very real thing, and all that mixed body fluid and seeing all that's real, and that stuff shouldn't live in one space.
No, I believe that if you're having unprotected sex with multiple men, that's gross. That will jack up your entire body and system. I can imagine.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I agree.
It's easy math. It's vagina over dicks equal stinky vagina.
Now wait a minute. Now men be stinking too.
Men definitely stink, but it's a different animal because all your organs are outside, so it's easily cleaned. And so again, a father of 5 girls, I see it all.
I'm sure.
And I'm like, yo.
It's in the garbage can.
Dudes are horrible. Dudes are terrible. So you can have a guy in your life and he's got multiple partners and you don't even know. So you're already, if you have multiple partners and you with a guy with multiple partners, then you have multiple partners. It's like crazy. The numbers get astronomical. Like it's like COVID. It's like a disease. For real.
Like COVID.
It's COVID-19.
Sharana's still yelling. She said, women do not release living organisms into men. She's still yelling.
That is the fact. That's what I said, Ronnie.
Now, if I see capital letters or exclamation points, that's how I'm gonna read it.
Oh, that's the only way to read.
I'm doing my job here. So yeah, you men well, yeah, if you're not using protection again, yes, men are gonna shoot all kinds of stuff.
And I'll even go one step further, Jen. I think even if you are using protection, you still are also sharing those souls. You know, even you know, you hear people talk about soul ties. I think that's real. You know, and so like I just sat in on the show and they was talking about giving in relationships. Would you give somebody a hall pass? Would you give a significant other a hall pass? Mark, Jen?
No.
For no reason, no reason ever. Mark,
No.
would you give a significant other a hall pass?
What do you mean by hall pass?
Hall pass means one time you can step out and it's not going to end us. Just go out and enjoy yourself that night, whatever that is.
Sarah,
Hell no.
Sarah trying to come
I just sent her the link.
in? Okay.
Yeah, it was in my email. I was like, oh, I got a link. I'm in.
Oh, wait. Shavonna's still yelling. She said, you become desensitized to love. And that is the problem now. We are not designed to do what men do.
Tell somebody come in here then.
I think she's talking to you. She's yelling at you.
Shavonna, come in.
I bet she gonna be real. If she come in and she be yelling for real, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Come on, ladies, come in.
They scared.
The link is there.
Alicia, come on in, Alicia.
Come in. Let's hear from y'all. So I don't have to read the comments. Y'all can come in. Sarah's coming in.
No, not you. No.
So we still talking about people getting cut, right? Hall passes.
Yeah.
Hall passes. Or would you indulge in a threesome with a significant other?
No.
No. Okay, why not, Mark?
I wouldn't be able. I wouldn't be able to trust it. Afterwards, I wouldn't be able to trust her.
I mean, so
you see what?
So okay, what do you mean you couldn't trust it? Educate me.
Man, I wouldn't want. I mean, the woman that you love, I don't want nobody touching her.
Okay, not even another vagina.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And for the regular threesome, is always two girls and a guy.
You're right.
Never.
No, it's not.
Never two guys.
No, it's not.
It's never two guys. Go to Pornhub and put in threesome, and it's gonna be all two girls and a guy always.
No.
Now, if you put in train will come up all kind of stuff. But
no, don't even try it. There's threesomes of two men. And some are
I have a one penis minimum in my sexual encounter.
No hall passes. Rodney, would you give your wife a hall pass?
Oh no. I don't want nobody jumping up and down in my puss.
Yeah,
no jumping jacks in my pup.
No.
Would you want a hall pass, Rodney, Mark?
You know what? I'm gonna say a quick no, and neither. And I'm with you guys on the threesome thing. I've seen couples indulge in that lifestyle, and it's always a lot. It's always a lot.
It's always without that third person.
it's hard to close it back up. That's all.
I can imagine that. That's why I would not want to go there. Because I don't think I could look at the person the same again.
Now, Jen, have you ever been a side chick?
No. What kind of question? Now
I mean, you didn't have to, not maybe unknowingly.
Yes, unknowingly, yes.
So yes, I've been a side chick.
Yeah, well, no, because I don't like how that sound. I don't like how that sound. A side chick.
No. Okay. Let's rewind life. Let's go back 50 seconds.
Life, because that sounds like a volunteer. Help me out, Ryan. Help me out.
So wait, let's go back. So, Jen, have you ever been a side chick? No, hell no. Okay, so even if you didn't know, okay, yeah. So tell us what happened.
That happened to me twice, actually. I was really pissed off about it. That happened to me twice. Once.
So did he lie to you? He lied to you.
Yeah, he didn't tell me at all. He was just acting like, I just had, I have a baby's mother.
In retrospect, did he give you any signs that he was not available?
No, and that's what messed me up. Like when the woman called me, because the woman called my house. I was scrambling eggs in the morning for him, and the woman called. No, it was even worse. His girlfriend called me. True story. His girlfriend called me to tell me I wasn't the only one, and he's married to someone else.
So you were one of three.
Three.
What you do?
That you all knew of at that point. So it might have been more.
Right. It could have been more. It could have been more.
How long were you all together?
It wasn't long, maybe like a year. Kind of like a year.
A year is a long time.
Yeah, but look, this is how he got me. When she called, I'm scrambling eggs in the morning. I'm like, she called, she was like,
so he had spent the night?
He would always spend the night. This is why when she called me, I said, well, when the fuck is he your man? Because he's here all the time, right? So I went in the living room and I threw the phone at him and I was like, your girlfriend's on the phone and she wants to know if your wife knows about me. And he was like, hang up, I ain't talking to nobody. And I said, no, take the phone. And I was trying to hit him with the phone.
Now how could you believe a stranger on the phone though? How could you believe that?
Because I feel like when two women collide, there's always an asshole in between. How did you get my number?
No. Okay. So as far as you knew at that moment, that guy was your guy. How could you listen to anybody that wasn't him?
That's a good question. Because, like you said, were there any red flags? Then you know how you get flashes? And I'm like, wait, he did tell me his mother was dying and he had to stay in the hospital. And I never met his mom. So I don't know if his mom was really dying. And then there was that other time he told me he was doing overtime. Was he really doing overtime? So it's like, all those teeny red flags become big red flags when you get that, hello, Barbara, this is Shirley. Popping up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. And then there was another time I had a fling with somebody, and then
a short time.
That was
short relationship.
Short. That fling was super short. But when I had seen him again, he had on a wedding ring, and I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, "It's a wedding ring," and I was like, "As in what? As in you're married to somebody?" And I was listening.
Well, you saw about it. Try that again. You saw about it in public.
Yeah, like we went to hang out again, like, oh, hey, what's up, whatever. Well, he was at his job and he had the ring on, and I was like, what is that?
But you wasn't the side chick in that situation.
No, because that was short-lived. That was the fling. And I was like, why didn't you tell me before we were intimate, you know what I mean, that you were fucking married? Because that would have never went down. But of course, he didn't tell me because it would have never went down.
Can't be mad at him for that. I get it.
But that's the shit that's the shit that women go through.
Yeah, I had a similar incident when I back in the MySpace days. I met a guy, I was dating him. We dated for a couple years. Then he went out of town and this chick called me. No, she didn't call me, she emailed me.
Okay, hold on. Before you keep going, Dazelle.
Yvette.
So, Miss Yvette. Okay, Yvette. So a couple of years.
Why
when you say y'all were dating, how much of a dating life was it? Like, how often would you see him?
Like, I knew the mama, I knew the kid, I knew the daddy, like dating.
Okay, and then you get this call.
I'll be back.
Yeah, this is back. I get the email and she emails me. She goes, hey, do you know a guy? She goes, you look familiar. Do you know a guy named? I'm like, okay. At that point, you know what's going on. I'm like, several. Which one? You know what I mean? And then she comes back, well, I'm gonna be a lady about it. I want about it. He's my man. I'm like, well, like you, like, so when is he your man? Because you're clearly asking me. She goes, well, I'm in the house right now. I'm like, oh, because this motherfucker's out of town. So she's in the house. She found pictures of us, and so she had questions. And she saw, like, I am literally in picture frames around the house, so I don't even know. Does he like hide the
So
pictures?
was she the main girl, or were you?
In my head, I was, because I knew the whole family. I knew everybody. Come to find out, she did as well. So he played his cards really well. But
so he introduced you to his family. So did he love you? Did he ever go, look, I love you. I don't know. I didn't know how to tell you. Like, what was he in love with you?
She was. What he didn't say is she was being phased out.
Okay.
And he didn't tell her that.
Okay.
So,
well, she ain't phased out of you.
Tell me because in his head, huh?
He was being phased out for a couple years.
Right. Clearly, I guess. I don't know. So I don't even know what.
Fellas, I'm asking y'all.
I'm like, this is crazy. So my thing is, I'm like, so when she contacted me, I'm like, okay, I don't even know what. All right, cool. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, your girl in your house. She emailing me. You might want to check that out. Like, and I was just done. Like, I walked away like that. And oddly, we're actually still cool. But they do some crazy stuff they don't tell you about. Yeah.
Sharona says, girl, you better sharpen up your intuition. I was young. What's happening now, Sharona? I was very young. I was young and I was busy, and I was like, oh, he's busy too. But when a guy spends a lot of time in your home, I'm talking about days, overnights, and you're not thinking, you're like, there's no way you got a wife at home, because if I was somebody's wife and you spend one night out.
Yes. Yes. And I was always in his house too. Like I was always in his house. He was always in, like.
Right. So it's like my question to her was like, when is he your man? Because he's always here. You know what I mean?
So he had two main chicks. He didn't like his wife. She was a side chick and you were the main chick.
Right.
His wife just happened to have all the benefits.
the nerve of his side chick to call me. Like, you got a whole wife to worry about.
Right. Right.
You got a whole wife to worry about. What the hell?
But my question is, did the wife know about her? Because she asked you if the wife knew about you.
I finally spoke to the wife because I wanted to get, you know what I mean, down to, okay, who is this? You know how we get when the cover's blown, we want all the info.
All the tea.
At the time, we think it's important. Mm-hmm. And it's not, right? Because what's important is...
It is for you at the time. It is for your sanity.
Yes. So at the time, you're like, well, how long were you married? When were you with him? Because he's always here, blah, blah. And I spoke to his wife, and she was like, well, he's never going to leave me, and he's done this before, and blah, blah. And I know about you. You the crazy one. He told me you the crazy one. And I was like, wait a minute. So you know that he messes around. So why is this girl calling? Why did you want to talk to me? Like, it was like, so then, girl, do what you do. You know what I mean? Get down, get down. I got caught up, but I was like, trust and believe. Like, listen, I'm sending them back. You ain't got to worry about me no mas after this.
Yeah, but it sounds like the other girl might have been a crazy one,
right?
Because she didn't know her role. Like, I say this all the time.
Because had she not called me, I would have never known about his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Had the girlfriend not called me, I would have never known about his wife, because he picked me up from work every day. He's spending nights, we're making dinners. So I'm like,
so his wife is just his wife. She's like, I'm 10 years in. This is my benefits. Like, that's his. She goes, I'm getting these residuals.
Right. That I don't care who he messes.
I say to that. I say a lot of times. I'm not really. A lot of times, I feel like men don't realize they can tell the truth. If they give the woman the option of knowing what they're dealing with,
right?
You never know what the woman will say. Some women's like, all right, cool. Wait, I ain't never got to see you. Nothing's gonna change. Some women are accepting of it.
That's very true.
I had a friend like that. She would watch the guy she was with. She would watch his wife get in her car and go to work. Like,
she was on the block.
Yes. She was okay with it. Like, his wife got in the car, went to work, whatever, then she would hook up with the guy. Like, so it's like, yeah, at least give the person the option.
Let me ask you this question, ladies. What percentage of women do you think would want the honesty, if they got the honesty, would just roll with it, percentage wise.
80.
A high one.
A high one.
Really?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
80? Is that fair or less than that?
I'm gonna go a little less than that.
I go less, maybe.
I go less than maybe 65, 70.
Right.
But honestly, and I think it's because of the climate, especially in the Black community. If they think they had a good one, it's like, okay, wait, I got to go back out there and deal with these other motherfuckers. So it's like, you know.
So what's the factor? Is it all sexual? Is it like Jen? This guy was literally making time.
He was your physical husband.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
He was my physical husband. Picked me up from work every day, grocery shopping, spending the night repeatedly. The only time I didn't see him was when he had overtime because he was a police officer. So he had, overtime. But other than that, he was very involved in my life. This wasn't a weekend boyfriend. This was like
was it common for him to disappear for days at a time?
No, never. But I was in a relationship like that. But this guy knew, like he was. Even when I was like, you don't got to pick me up from work today. No, I'm coming downtown to pick you up from work. Like he went out his way.
But he was always in control of y'all meetings too.
No, not always.
As you look back, how was he able to navigate 3 women without none of y'all knowing?
Oh, you weren't here when I was discussing.
Oh yeah, the wife knew.
The wife knew. The wife knew about me, and the wife knew about the girlfriend. The only one who seemed to have the issue was the girlfriend, because she's the one that called me.
Because she couldn't play her role.
The girlfriend blew up the spot.
Yes, because I wouldn't have known.
No. Jen was the girlfriend. The other girl was a side piece. So
right.
She was a wife. Jen was the girlfriend. The other girl was a side piece.
There's only one wife and 2 side pieces.
What am I, a chicken box? But dig this. Then after I gave him his walking papers, like no lie, a week or so after, that same girl called me early in the morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning, crying, and was like, "Is he there? Is Christopher there? Is he there? Is he?" And I was like,
said the baby name.
Oh, I don't give a damn. So I was like, he's not fucking here. You ain't got to worry about me no more. You got to worry about his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not here. He's not gonna be here. Don't call my house.
Why you busy with her? I mean, why would you be upset with her?
Because don't call me after. Like, I don't have your man no more. You called, blew up his spot. I send him back to you. Now, if he's still missing from your life, don't call my house no more for him.
But you have visible animosity to her, and she really did nothing to you.
No. That's not That's not animosity toward the woman. It's an act of disrespect that she got blindsided by all this stuff, and so she's like, okay, well, I'm stepping out of it. Now, the fact that you keep calling me is an issue. So now you're trampling on disrespect. I'm not in this. Stay away from me.
Like the first time I was cordial because I'm like, it's not your fault. We both got bamboozled. So I got no beef with you. We both got lied to. But now you calling me at the crack of dawn crying, looking for this dude. And I said I sent them back. Don't call my house no more. Now I'm hostile.
How did she get your number?
From his phone, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. I think guys are way less likely to even consider this concept. I don't know if a woman could ever have multiple guys like that.
No. I disagree with you.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly, because I put this in the comments before I came in. Polyamory is a real lifestyle, and I know
that is true.
I know women who are the main suitor, and then they're and they have multiple men.
I saw something like that.
But here's the thing:
you're not gonna find no poly situations with a woman at the head and a bunch of guys around there. You're not gonna find that.
I'm telling you, I have a friend in the situation.
No, I saw it.
I know of a woman directly. Right.
Really.
And so, but here's the deal. Like, there is her one main guy, but everything else, nothing else is really sexual. It's like a community that they come in and they build together. And so, but they build basically like she's a queen bee and it's a hive, right? And so, but she's not sexually intimate with all of them. There's some where they are. There's some where they aren't.
Hey,
Wow, that's
everybody.
interesting.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Jen. Oh, it's two
What up,
Jens.
Jen?
Hi. Hi. Interesting topic. I actually,
Coming in. Sarah, you not coming in?
huh?
No, I was talking to Sarah.
Oh, interesting topic. I actually have done the polyamorous relationship before.
Really?
So,
Were
yes.
you the main character, or was it multiple women?
So neither one of us were main. We actually came in and found the guy.
Really?
Yeah. So,
So,
yeah.
were you two a couple and then found him?
So we were friends first. We never really like messed around sexually, but we had a really good vibe, a really good chemistry. And then we found someone who was interested in practicing that. But it does help when they're wealthy because he was not well off. I mean, we all worked and stuff like that and built and stuff, but I mean, obviously it didn't work out the way.
Jen, give me the
Yeah.
pros of it, like, because I would imagine there's strength in numbers financially. So give
Yeah.
me the upside of poly life.
Okay, so the upside is the fact that like we had children, not together, but you know, when the children were in the home, it was very helpful. When someone else was working, there was caregivers in the
How
house.
do you explain that to the children?
So my friend already knew my children, so that wasn't awkward. We didn't do anything sexual in front of the children at all. I share custody with my ex, and so did she. And the male guy didn't have any children. So we kept it kind of platonic around the children. But the downside of it is that you can't be as expressive as you want with the kids in the house. So, but we would take vacations together and we would go out to clubs together. We would go to swingers parties together. And
I'm confused. Are you gay?
I'm bi.
Okay, you're bi. So you had a girlfriend?
So
They were friends.
we didn't enter in that relationship to begin with, but it ended up going in that direction, obviously.
Right. But they're ultimately a committed relationship of 3. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
so I want to piggyback on Rodney. You said there was the benefit of babysitters or always having a kid, somebody there with the kids. Like, what was the? Because I would think that entering upon this is like, I got to build something. There's wealth building. There's generational things that are happening. What were the other pros in it for you?
So it's kind of strange now because I actually am dating someone right now who's never done this. And we haven't dabbled into it yet, but he's really interested in doing it because he wants to like build, he wants to buy a home together. Now I'm 38 and I'm not having any more children, and he's 41 and he doesn't want any more children. So we would have to find someone to come in that would have those same, you know, kind of expectations. But the problem is that when you start off with a male and female, it's a little bit more difficult because the jealousy kind of ensues differently. Because I'm already starting to have feelings for him, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about sharing him with someone else. Now, sexually, it's different because for sex wise, it's different. Like, we could do that all day long, but when it comes to emotional commitment and such like that, that's a little bit of a different situation.
So what ultimately broke you guys up? The poly trio. What broke you guys up?
So I'm actually still friends with a female, but the male, he moved away.
He just moved away?
Yeah, he ended up taking a job across the country, so he ended up leaving.
Oh, so the distance broke y'all apart.
Right, correct. And we couldn't relocate because of our own children.
Wow.
So I still stay in contact with him too. So
had he not moved away, y'all would still be together.
I mean, yeah, we didn't have any big issues. Like there wasn't much jealousy because we entered with him into it. So it wasn't like.
What made you decide, hey girl, look, I got an idea. You know, our kids like each other and I kind of like you. You cool. We could be roommates. What about if we found a boyfriend? Like, what made you do all that? How'd that come to happen?
So we just kind of got tired of our boyfriends like cheating on us, going outside of our relationship. And we were like, let's try it. Like, it really wasn't something that, it was kind of, I wouldn't say a joke at first, but more of an experiment that kind of worked out.
Right.
So,
and how many, like, you guys, once you get into poly life, I'm sure you meet poly trios all over the place. Is it
Yeah.
always 3, or is it like 6 and 10? Is it do the groups get bigger?
Fingers.
So there are a couple different types of polyamorous relationships. So there's the typical one that him and myself and she had, which is 2 females and a male. And then there is the types where you have like a committed relationship with a man and a woman, and they are open to go and freely be with other people and bring them back as long as as long as that's the relationship they have or the agreement that they have.
They have rules.
Right, correct. I've seen on like TV and stuff, I've seen these women with like 4 guys. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how y'all can handle more than one of us, let alone 2 of us, but
Now that's a good question. Physically, could he keep up with you guys?
Yes, he could. Now this guy I'm dating now, I wonder.
So when you guys, because I like the nitty gritty. When you guys were intimate, was it always all 3 of you, or just like no. You're on Tuesday and you're on Wednesday and you're on Thursday?
No, we all slept together in the same room. Not always in the same bed, but in the same, like most of the time we slept in the same room. But no, sex was sometimes it was him and me, or her and I, her and him, all together. Yeah.
And the kids in question, you guys sleeping in the same room? How old were your kids? Are your kids?
So my kids at the time were 5 and 7, and her kids at the time were 4 and 6. So they were still young enough and they called her auntie, and they knew that was mommy's boyfriend. So it really wasn't.
I bet they know more than you think they know.
Because kids are pretty smart, yeah.
You know what's funny now is that I've never brought it up, and they've never said anything. So, and they're
normal to them,
they're grown now. They're 16 and 18 now. So, What was your question?
No, I was saying if it's normal to them, you know what I mean? If that's their normal environment, they're not going to think anything.
No big deal. Yeah.
Right.
Go to someone else's house, and then it's like, where's your auntie? Why doesn't she sleep in the bed with your mom and dad?
Right.
But you never know what some kid's gonna say at school too. Like, you got 2 mamas gone. You never know. Hey,
well,
guys,
that's why.
I gotta jump off.
That's why she was auntie.
Okay. They called her auntie. That's right. Yeah, exactly.
I've always been curious about that stuff. So when you go to like the swingers club, is it like the movie Eyes Wide Shut, or is it more? What's that like? What's the environment like? Do people just walk up to you? Do you like get to say no, not you, maybe him? What's that like?
So it's kind of a vibe where you're with the person that you're there with, and then other people, like you kind of just are reading people's vibes and if you're inviting or not. I mean, if you're there, clearly you're open to these things, right? So it's not as awkward. But like we went to one time, and it was a hotel, and they shut the hotel down for this event, and like the beginning of the night people were like dancing and drinking and mingling and everything, and I mean I was dancing with guys and girls and everything, and then that shut down, and then the basement was like all of these sex swings and beds and separate rooms, and like you could be having sex next to someone who's having sex right there next to you. And it's like, sometimes it's a turn on to some people. I mean, it was kind of erotic, and
I'd be the fly on the wall. Like,
what are the chances like you can walk in there and it's like, I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want anybody to touch me. I'm a voyeur. I just want to look around. Is that flyer constantly going to be like, hey?
You have to come with someone, though. Usually at those kind of parties, you have to be there with someone because it's just awkward. Especially if you're male, it's awkward if you're there by yourself. Okay. Now, women, you could come with another woman and it would be okay. But they don't typically like men by themselves just because of the stereotype that they're just there to watch. But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So Jen, sounds like you want to go and do a documentary.
I've always been curious. I'm more of a voyeur. Like I'm like, I would, you know, even like
I'm not real touch friendly myself, so I get it.
right. Even when I've gone to like with my girlfriends to like, you know, when you go watch male strippers, like I love watching them, and my line was always, you know, they come up to you, and I'm small, so it's like, oh, I can show my skills with this one. I can toss her around. So whenever they come up to me, I always say like, I'm pregnant. I would whisper, I'm pregnant, because if they think you're pregnant, they won't touch you. They won't toss you around.
Right. That's good to remember. I'm gonna use that one.
I was never pregnant, but that way I was able to enjoy, you know, all the antics and tricks without being tossed around, because they like showing off their skills. So they're like, okay, let me grab her. You know, I have to pull her over my shoulder. So I was just like, no, I'm pregnant. And they would be like, oh, okay, all right. And then they would walk away and do their thing. I'm like, stay over there. I just want to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, as soon as I get out of quarantine, I'm going to a ding-a-ling club. I'm just looking.
You watch movies like Eyes Wide Shut, you're like, oh my God. Like, well,
yeah, it's not as weird as that. It's not as, I mean, it's not that type of vibe. I've never been to one like that. That's that type of vibe, but
Eyes Wide Shut is weird vibe. It's like, is someone going to get sacrificed?
Yeah, it is kind of, it's a lot of just different BDSM and no, I'm not into all that stuff, but
you say hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
Pretty much.
So,
Mark, what you got to say?
No, I'm just.
Mark is like, listen, my name's Bennett. Y'all enjoy.
I'm just listening.
So is this a lifestyle that you're going to have, you think, for the rest of your life? Or you think, I just want to like have fun until I'm tired of it? Or is this like, no, this is life?
So after that experience, and not that it was a bad experience, but I probably won't try it again on the level that I did before, where it's 3 of us living together and 3 of us, you know, engaging in a committed relationship where it's equal. I wouldn't mind, like I told you, the guy I'm dating now, he wants to like try stuff with other girls, but I don't know if he understands like the level of commitment and work that really is involved in that type of a relationship.
It's got to be a lot of communication.
Yes, yeah, it a lot, and then you just worry about so much stuff, and then if you've already have a relationship, like we already have an established relationship, it just, I don't know if I would trust anyone coming in that I didn't already know or had a relationship prior. It would just be kind of weird.
The children are older now, right?
They're 16 and 18 now, so.
So do they know about your lifestyle, or it's just like never discussed?
No, so they know that I'm bisexual, but they don't know that that I did the polyamorous relationship. As far as I know, they don't know. They've never said anything.
If your children wanted to get into this type of lifestyle, what advice would you give them? What would you say to them? So I think one of the biggest things, especially me teaching my daughter now, she just came out of a relationship, is that I was always taught that emotions and sex and all that love stuff all go together. And I think that sometimes that's not the right way to kind of teach people about things like that, because there is a sense of that. But if women are taught at a young age that you have to have sex for love and stuff like that, I think that it messes our emotional state up. I think that it has these expectations that that people can't be like in love with 2 people at the same time. I think that's absolutely possible. I think that it's a choice of commitment rather than, because that whole in love feeling thing doesn't last very long. It's literally a commitment every day that you're making to someone. I choose to be with them. I choose to be with them. Because you'll fall right out of love real quickly. And so I think that if I was to talk to my kids about stuff like that, I would want them to keep that in their mind, that, you know, it's about, relationships are about 2 things, survival and recreation. If you could find a person that like has both of those, then you're really good. Because you could have fun with them, sex and stuff like that, but you're also building with them and you can trust them, you know, in survival. And especially with the world the way that it's going right now, you can't just be trusting anybody.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense. Survival and recreation. Because when I'm with someone, I got to say those 2 things are priority over love. If I'm being completely honest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I survive with you? Can you
Mhm.
protect me? Can you survive with me? You know what I mean?
Right.
And can we have enough fun where we can get through the downtime? So I agree. I agree. Because
I think
Yeah,
a lot
and
of women think like that.
I have been in love with men that were horrible to me, didn't protect me, and couldn't do shit for me. And I mean in love. Like I would die for you. And it wasn't to my benefit at all. It was to my detriment, actually.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, I gotta agree with that. I gotta agree.
Yeah. So that's what I would probably tell. Like I tell my own girls this and stuff like that, because but you're gonna go through heartache. You know, your emotions are gonna overtake yourself. But if you constantly keep that in the back of your head, then I think that that's a really good way to separate your emotions from what's really going on. Because you know, especially us women, we get wrapped up in those things because that's how we're raised. Just like men, especially I know black, because so my children are biracial. I've dated black men my whole life. The woman that I had that relationship with black. So I've grown up around black people enough to know that, you know, especially black men aren't taught to show their emotions, to really live inside of them and to feel them in a natural state. And so I think that if they're not taught that, if they're raised on survival mode, then it's really hard for them to break that barrier and have a real healthy relationship with any type of a woman, to be honest. So
You from Chicago?
Yes.
I'm from Detroit.
Okay. Dazelle, you from Chicago?
Yep. Southside.
You're stand-up comedian?
Huh?
You do comedy?
No. I'm an actress.
No, you're an actress. Okay.
You trying to figure out where you know me from? Is that what you're trying?
No.
I'm a business partner.
I thought you were a stand-up comedian.
Oh no, I'm not funny, honey. Mm-mm.
Detroit.
Honey.
Detroit. Where are you from, Jen?
I am from Las Vegas now, but originally New York.
I hear it all in your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all, it's going down over here with this protesting, man.
In Detroit.
These Republicans are out their minds.
Hmm.
They're over there protesting against our governor. I can't even. It's crazy here.
I'm curious when you said that the downside to that type of relationship is jealousy. What is there? You know, it's already known and established. There are 3 people in this relationship. So, what do you get jealous about? Is my question.
So I think the hardest part for me, I can only obviously speak on me, is that like if they had something in common and I didn't, then it would kind of always, like they played video games. I did not play video games. So there'd be some times where I would come home and they would be playing their game and I would feel like left out because I don't play video games. But I also understand that I'm not going to take that away from someone. Like if they like to enjoy doing that, I'm not going to be like, but it
snatching that plug out the wall.
No, it wasn't like that. They weren't like obsessive or anything like that. But I was also a lot younger when we were in this type of relationship. I've learned a lot over the last 10 years that I haven't been about relationships. So if I could go back and do it over again, I'd probably do it much better. But it was a good learning experience.
I have a question for you, Jen.
Yes.
Sarah asked, Jen from Detroit. Sarah asked, what happens when there is conflict between the 2 women?
You know, they're really, really more of us complaining about the stuff that he didn't do. There wasn't much conflict, and that's a positive on that end, because you're not bearing the weight all on that one other person. So it's kind of spread out a little bit more. So, I mean, there really wasn't much conflict. Even the jealousy and stuff like that, it really worked out really well. We were friends, we enjoyed each other, and we had a lot in common. So a lot of the time he felt left out because he'd be like, oh, you guys are going shopping, or you guys are, because we would sometimes take vacations by ourselves. And he'd get kind of upset about it. But it's like, I mean,
because you guys were friends and y'all found him, he probably thought you guys would go out and find another, somebody.
But see, so I guess the assumption is that, guys don't typically like to do a lot of stuff females do. So we were like, oh, this is perfect because he could have his guy time and we could have our girl time. But he wanted to be around us a lot more.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not how you would fare, Mark.
I know. It was really strange to me too, because I'm like, go hang out with your friends. Oh my gosh, his friends thought it was just the best thing ever. He's
I'm
like, you
sure.
guys, oh my gosh. I've had like there'd been times where they'd be at the house and one of his friends would be like, can you convince my girlfriend to do this? And I'm like, you can't convince them.
Right.
Well, it's pretty funny, but
You know, you were talking about the way you treat your train or teach your girls. I myself, I had to learn because like you, Jen, I had been through like the gambit. I'm like, really? I'm a pretty dope chick. So why you treat me like trash? But I had to learn, I had to love myself more than I loved anything else. Right. Because I'm like, I love you, but I love myself more. So I got to walk away. And that's a hard thing to do. So Jen, if you can run away, you get your Nikes on, you good, girl. Especially if you're tiny, girl. I don't know.
I'm not so tiny, so you can. No, I know you're talking about her, but I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah, I can write a book.
Wow.
I can write a book.
So Christina says because broke men can't afford multiple wives.
What?
Christina D. Leon, she said broke man can't afford multiple wives. Mark D. Muhammad says, why not just multiple? But basically what he's saying is that why do the men have to be wealthy in order to have multiple wives? I think
because we went over because it's less drama for the man. I mean, if you're a broke men do it all the time. Broke men date multiple women all the time, but I can imagine, you know what I mean? It's going to be a bigger headache.
I think because it's easier, like Rodney was saying, like the more money you have, the easier it is as a life as in whole. So there's not those outside stressors that money, not having money cause. So it makes it easier. And so, but I don't think broke men can't do it. I just think that broke men need to communicate what's going on more, and everybody needs to be like-minded and understanding that it's a process and we're building together. Everybody got to work. You can't.
But when you
for the kids,
when you're dealing with the wealthy man and you're dealing with the women, and in terms of it's easier to maneuver the relationship because the women know they have to think 5 times before they speak, or they'll lose their allowance.
I think so too, because I look at Diddy's like his baby mothers and his, when he had the girlfriend Kathy, then he had all the baby mothers. I've never seen a bunch of women bear children for men and be all so happy together and be on each other's Instagrams. And this is like, I mean, they were damn near sister wives, but then when you look at their lifestyle, they're all on vacation and they all have designer bags, and none of them had jobs.
Well, I mean, because they didn't have to with Diddy, right? And all their kids are siblings. So are you going to have the kids at each other's throats because you can't be a woman up like, okay, yeah, I slept with a man and got impregnated with a couple fetuses with this dude who impregnated a whole bunch of other women with other feet. It's not the kid's fault. So either you can live in harmony, right? Will and Jada did it with Sharice. So Sharice, so it's I think it's adulting. You know what I mean? So, and if Diddy can afford to say, okay, listen, all my kids gonna live like this, then this is the lifestyle everybody's gonna have. That's why I think it's easier for a wealthy man because he can afford the lifestyle of civility.
So another, if you want to break it down biologically, female male. So biologically speaking, this unconscious part of a woman, the reason why we get jealous and stuff like that is because our job is to have babies and pin a man down for resources. So if we have someone who's wealthy, then we don't need to worry about other females because we know that he's going to take care of us financially.
Did you say our job?
I think that's why, huh?
Did you say our job?
No, no, I'm saying that biologically speaking, like in the animal kingdom per se, that's why it's easier for rich men to get multiple women because we don't have to worry about finances if we're with a wealthy man. So he will provide for us. Now, if we're messing with someone who is not wealthy he's not going to be able to split his money between 2, 3, 4 baby mamas.
He can just might get 4 dimes.
I mean, he can, but I'm just saying from that perspective, I think that that's probably why it's easier for wealthier men to get multiple women because those women who choose to be in that type of a lifestyle, they know they're going to get what they want out of that situation, if it's financially anyway.
Mm.
I've never seen more happy baby mamas in my life. I gotta say,
They get paid.
I mean, right? Exactly.
That's their
I
job.
mean,
they're all on yachts.
That's their job, I guess. You know.
They're all on
Yeah.
yachts, and they got there, and I'm like, what does she do again? Oh, that's right, she just raising the babies. Okay, cool. I mean, if you like it, I love it. This guy says, Mark D. Muhammad says, so if I have money, it's okay as long as I can support your financial needs. No, it's okay as long as you communicate.
yeah.
And everybody's in agreement.
Right. You
Right.
can do it rich or poor. You just have to communicate. And if the women are okay and the men are okay, then it's okay. So no, it's not about money. It's just it's better, I think, to convince a woman, you know what I mean, to put up with shit if she's materialistic and she has a black card and she can walk into Neiman Marcus whenever she feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a fact. If a woman wants to be taken care of, with, you know, and I think 50% of them do, and then 50% are powerful. I am woman, hear me roar, and I want to, you know. But there's still a huge percentage of women who want to be taken care of, and it's like I don't want to out cook and clean and stuff like that. I don't want to be out in the workforce.
Right. And you know what? And it's like there's a huge percent of women who are on the other spectrum, in my opinion, who like me. I'm real talk. I own a couple businesses. I do my own thing. I handle my business. But listen, sometimes I get tired.
Mhm.
I'm always the one in control of what's happening in my house because I run the house, right? And sometimes I want to say like, okay, you know what? It's time because I need to have several seats. But in order to wear that hat, like you got to come correct with it.
But don't most women share anyway?
Huh?
Don't most women share?
I don't,
Excuse me?
Most women.
Share?
Right? Yeah.
Share what?
Like, you know, like most, like she's like, you know, she's sharing her guy.
Hell no.
Most women do not share their men.
With who?
So y'all don't think most men cheat then?
I'm not saying okay. No, you can't do a blanketed statement. I know you're not saying all. There are a lot of men that cheat, just like there are a lot of women that cheat. There are a lot of men that are hardworking, just like there are a lot of women who are hardworking. There are a lot of men who look for sugar mamas, just like there are a lot of women who look for sugar daddies. You can't do a blanketed statement like that. But it's like I can't say all men.
I didn't say all. I said
I can't say most men cheat.
okay.
I say a lot of them motherfuckers do.
The way you say
What's the
it sounds
percentage?
like women. The way you say it sounds like women are aware. Like, don't most women?
Yeah, like I'm supposed to no get hurt.
Most women are aware, but you all just overlook certain things, and you all stay in denial. Unless
It happens a lot.
unless
Ignoring red flags.
It
Yeah,
happens a
ignoring
lot.
red flags.
It happens a lot.
Sure.
you
I
can
think
tell
happens a lot.
me you've been in a relationship with a guy, and you did not know at all that he was cheating until a woman calls you, or until you see him. The red flags are there. Either it's a text, or either it's a phone call. Either he's doing this, he's doing that. The red flags are all.
I'm good.
You are just deny. You are in denial of.
No, I can't. No, I'll just speak for me. No, because what plays in for me is if it's unbeknownst to me, that's different. But what plays into me is like these red flags. Again, it's conditioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
No woman wants to be the psychopath, the jealous one, the one that's nitpicking, right? So it's not always that we ignore red flags. We're just like, I don't want to be that woman everybody talks about. So what we do is like, okay, maybe I don't want to, let me just, you know what I mean? But if I had a real true blue red flag, I'm not going to ignore, you know what I mean?
A true blue red flag could mean the woman calling you or the woman coming to your door. You see him walking down the street with another woman holding hands. Outside of that,
that's a wrap.
Okay. But outside of that, let's keep it real. You're too much of a critical thinker to overlook certain things, right? So, so you can't tell me that the relationships that you've been in, and you said the dudes that cheated, right? that you didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
So you ignored certain things.
No, the cop I was with, I didn't see anything.
I'm not saying the cop that
I was too, let me tell you something. I was too dangerous back then to even play with like that.
I'm not saying
I enjoyed the drama. I didn't mind grabbing knives out the kitchen. At that age, no. I was like, you know, it's gonna go down. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm not even talking about back then. I'm not even talking about the cop. I'm saying in your life, period.
I had an incident where as I was over at my ex's house, let me say that, and I lean off the side of the bed and I see like this thing of lipstick. I'm like, what's this? He goes, that's yours. I'm like, no, I don't wear cheap lipstick, so this is not mine.
That's not mine.
So, yeah, right. And so he was like, oh, well, it must have been my friends. What the fuck is your friend doing in your bedroom? At that point, and I will say that there were things like, we got spidey senses. We just know shit sometimes.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I could, I could see women and how, I could see women and how they would post on his Facebook page. I'm like, some may right. So I would just sit back and watch because I'm not gonna go off an assumption, but I would wait till I was confirmed. I'm like, okay. So I get it now. But when I saw that tube of lipstick, I'm like, oh, it's not just flirting. It's fucking. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
But wait a minute. So you saw the lipstick, right? Then you want to you started investigating.
No. I was watching Facebook. I saw some weird things happening on Facebook. I'm like, that don't seem like something your buddy would say.
No. You were investigating his Facebook page.
No. I saw something pop up. I wasn't searching. Because if I search, I'm fine. I don't want to search. Right. So like,
Mark, going back to what you said, finding a lipstick in his home, that's a true blue red flag.
And that's when it's a wrap.
Right. There's no other way. Like, I can't, like, and listen, I know there are a lot of women that are like, I don't want to cause no drama because he's paying the rent, or I just don't want to be alone, or I just don't want to start over. Long as he doesn't leave me. There's a lot of things that's like, don't just don't embarrass me. There are a lot of women like that. I'm just saying I'm not one of them. So when I say, I can't say like, oh, I saw a red flag and ignored it, especially back then. Like,
I don't believe it.
I was with the shits back then. You're going to have to believe, I mean, I can only speak from my experience. Have I been lied to by married men? Yes, I've been lied to by married men. But I've never seen a lipstick, a pair of panties, a t-shirt that wasn't mine, a soap that wasn't mine, and been like, oh, maybe I left it here.
No, that's stupid. That's to do that is virginal stupidity, right? And Mark Hammond said is trolling. Is not trolling. If you go and you look at
people said I was trolling you all.
Right. So I mean, yeah, no. If you post,
I'm trolling. He said because I was questioning you and Jen, he was saying I was trolling you all.
No, I don't get it. But okay.
No.
Yeah, no.
I dated a whole married man before and didn't know he was married. I went to his house. I had no clue. So it can happen. I mean,
oh my God. So you went to the man's house and
yes.
I've been there. I've been there.
With no woman.
Because the thing is that, and it was a newer relationship, so it's not like I'm not going, like we were together, so I'm not going through his stuff, and there was literally no inkling that a woman lived there.
Yeah.
So the way the house is decorated, always going to have the sign of a woman.
No, because I dated a dude who was so metrosexual. I had to ask, like, are you sure you're not gay?
I said the size of a woman.
There was nothing.
I had to ask him because his house was immaculate. It was like, I was like, dude, you need to come do my place as well, like designed as this place is. But like, sometimes it's just no signs. If a man is really well put together in his dress, sometimes his house is really well put together too.
And if he has that other home, that other condo,
that's a different thing. That's a different thing of his bachelor pad. Now,
right?
If you go to the man's house, right? Even if like it's not like he's gonna have like if you go into his master bedroom, there are certain signs that the woman is there. Either whether unless he just changing the what you call it.
I mean, a ponytail holder.
Yes, of course. If a man,
I mean, I didn't go in no closets, but on the outside, it looked not like there's a
Oh, so
bed,
you
a
didn't go
dresser, a
inside the house.
TV.
You didn't go inside the house.
No, I did. I'm saying in the room. Like I didn't go in the closet. You know, if I would have went in the closet, I probably would have found something. But luckily for me, about 6 weeks into the relationship, well, of us, we weren't even, huh?
6 weeks in his house? Oh, girl.
No. I only went over there a few times, but we dated for 6 weeks, and then his wife emailed me.
Yeah, well, you're lucky she didn't walk in on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
no, Mark said I was trolling. I wasn't trolling. Like you don't go to your mate's page or anything. It's not trolling.
He was talking about you.
Yeah, no, I don't have a reason to troll. I got too much shit to do to troll.
and it's like when in my situation with the cop, I'm like, you know, in my mind, you know, logically, I'm thinking no man who's married and lives with his wife is going to spend days on end in my home.
same.
I'm
I
thinking,
thought the same thing.
That's the difference.
Right? I'm not thinking I should go snoop and investigate because I'm thinking logically,
Your man is with you.
right?
Yep.
You picking me up from work every day. We're cooking meals together. You're hanging out with my daughter. You're making play dates, and we're this. And so it's like, I mean, that's why my question was, when is he your man?
Well, let me ask you: were they married or were they separated?
No, I'm talking
they
about the one that had the girlfriend and the wife. And it sounded to me, when I spoke to her, it sounded to me like she already knew that's what he does. The girlfriend was more upset. The girlfriend was more upset than the wife. The wife looked like, this is what he does. He told me about you, whatever, oh, you the crazy one. And he told me I better not call you. That is what she told me. She was like, he told me I better not call you, whatever. But she wasn't even crying. The girlfriend was crying when she called me about him. She was crying. The wife, she was over it. Like, whatever.
She was used to it.
Because the girlfriend thought she was next in line, but you were.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, he was the type that spent time outside of his home and she didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have wives that are enabling, how the hell am I supposed to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you let your husband spend the night out, or how is anyone supposed to know?
Yeah, because he's supposed to be honest enough to say.
Yes.
That's that communication thing.
Right? So I'm like, it's like sometimes you get pulled into other people's bullshit. You know what I mean? I got pulled into, and as soon as I found out, I was like, deuces. And the girl was still, you know what I mean?
So let me ask you this, Jen. After you found out, right? After you found out, you didn't go back to him?
No, absolutely not. Not once. No, never.
Here's Deanna. After all this time, Deanna finally comes in. Deanna,
what's up, Deanna? Hey.
Deanna, let me say.
Hey. Can you hear us?
I need some fellas. Vashawn, come on up in here. What do you think about all this, Deanna?
I think she's frozen.
No.
You may have to go out and come back in because you're okay. You might have to go out and come back in because you're frozen.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
You want to say something, right? Hey, come back. Just come back in because you're frozen right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You was asking me something?
Yeah, I was asking you that. Did you go back to him?
No.
She said that was it. Then the girl called her the next day. She's like, don't call me.
The Facebook dude, did you go back to him?
The girl called, and don't get me wrong. If I was to see him today, you know what I mean? I'd be like, what's up, bruh? Like, that shit was fucking dirty. You know it was dirty. You know what I mean? I don't even have any animosity like, oh, kill. You know what I mean? It's like, you a dog. And it's like, you know, it is what it is. But that was the end of it for me. Like, I threw the phone hit his head. It was pretty ugly. And then, you know, a week later, she called me looking for him. And I'm like, I'm done with him. So don't call my house anymore looking for him. Like,
wait a minute, I got a question. If he moved on that quick, Was there somebody else in the wings waiting?
That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
there always is. There always is.
It had to be, because you would think
Yes.
what he would do is just go run back to the one that was crying.
Mhm.
But if she was still looking for him, then where
Well,
was
he was mad at her because he made her lose you. I mean, she made him lose you.
But
Yeah.
did he think,
I would personally be mad if someone made me lose you. So I would have been mad.
so
Just-
did he
Just
come- did he
saying.
come back?
Just saying.
Huh?
Did he try to come back?
Of course.
They always try to come back.
So
Of course.
does it? So the guy from the Facebook, right? The Facebook guy,
Mhm.
the makeup.
Mhm.
Did he try to come back?
Yeah.
So what happened?
They all
Where
try to
is
come
he?
back.
Y'all never take the guys back.
No,
No,
I've gone back
I
before,
took back.
but I've gone back on my terms.
Right. I told you, the only guy I took back is the one that I took revenge on and cheated on him and then sending pictures of me and the guy having sex. I took him back. Yeah, I'm with the
Yes.
shit. I am
Yes.
like
What's your
Mark,
sign, Jen?
Mark Diesel, you hear
Me?
that?
No.
Mine? Oh.
he cheated on me. He cheated on me really, really bad, broke my heart. I went and slept with someone he didn't like already.
I think she's either a Scorpio or an Aries.
Yeah. Or Taurus.
I'm a Capricorn.
Why I told
Oh, really? Never thought that.
I'm a
Wow.
Capricorn. And so I did take him back, but it's like I wanted revenge and I got revenge. And my attitude was, if you can get over what I did with such and such, then let's get over shit together. Right?
Mhm.
And we got back together.
But how long?
I'm not taking you back. I'm not taking you back without doing the same thing. Like if you let's get over it together now. Let's get over betrayal together. And yes, I said before, I know it was toxic.
It's harder for men to get over that shit, though.
Yes, it is. Yes, it. After you showed him you was with somebody else, that yeah.
Well,
I emailed the pictures. I said, this is how it feels. This is what it did to me.
according to what Jen said, when a man cheats, women never get over it either.
I'm over it now.
No, I'm saying, you said that like in a marriage, right? If the man cheats, the woman never gets over it.
No, I don't think so.
No. We can forgive you, but it's always going to play.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
That's what I
Because
said.
there's triggers.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's what I said. It's
Yeah.
I think the woman has to have acceptance of the reason and the situation. If there's something behind it, like if it's emotional for me, I ain't getting over shit. Like you connected with somebody.
I can't find a reason. It's the reason that you cheated on me because my vagina is so dry. They were out of lube. You couldn't fit in, and there was just nothing else to do. Like no, like figure that shit out.
Figure it out. Talk to me. But I will say this. This is what really cemented that whole situation was that on one night that I guess he had to get away, right, to either deal with the wife or deal with the girlfriend. I don't know. He did tell me that his mother was dying in the hospital. Now, again, logically, as an innocent person, you are not thinking that someone will go to the lengths of killing their mother. And
A
imagine
narcissist.
right. You're not thinking that. When you're a normal, halfway normal person, you would never think that someone would say about their mother, I had to be in the hospital, my mom's dying, she may have cancer. So you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So, but looking back, I was like, oh, your mother wasn't dying. That was the night
But
that you
Jen, on the other hand, too, it's even more of like, even if you question it, you're like, no, that's so crazy to be upset about. You know what I mean? Like that, yeah, that's some narcissistic bullshit.
right.
Like, why would you be upset my mom is
That's
dying?
dumb.
What kind of human are you?
Right.
I was like, yeah, no, that's why
Your
so
mama died last year.
that played for me when, right. So that
Did the
played
same
for
thing
me
happen last year?
when the girlfriend called me. Like that played. Oh, so you're
Hey, Jen, we'll take a moment to read some of these comments.
oh. Sharona said my favorite people, Capricorns, revenge crazy. Yes, I am.
But I have a best friend who's a Capricorn, and she's so mild, but she's a beast.
Is she a January Capricorn?
Huh?
What's your
January
sign?
Capricorn.
What's your sign? Is it Dazal? Is that how you say it?
Amelia.
Which Leo?
Because January Capricorns are different from December Capricorns.
Okay, I'm gonna give
Yeah,
you that.
like I think all signs are different with the month they're in.
Mhm.
Sharona said,
What's
"Did
yours,
you go to
Jen?
the damn funeral?"
I'm a Pisces.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't go to the funeral. No,
Very through and through.
better. She got
That's-
better.
wow. I'm surrounded by Pisces, February Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a March Pisces.
yeah, but that's the only guy that I took back knowing, you know what I mean, that he was cheating. But
Yeah.
he was textbook narcissistic personality disorder. Like he was sleeping with many, many, many women, and I just cheated on me.
A narcissistic misogynist.
Yeah.
Oh God, those are the worst.
Yeah.
So I emailed him the pictures. I said, if you can get over that, then we can get back together. And we got back together. It was horrible, you know, but
How long were y'all together? How long did y'all stay together after that?
It was horrible, but
we were on and off for years after that.
Really?
On and off though. On and
yeah.
off.
So
I've
what-
had one of those before.
Yeah, not steady. Like maybe 1 month on, 3 months off, you know, 2 months on, on and off for years. But you know, it was never the same. It was not serious. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a committed relationship by any means.
Because you could never get over that. And that's too much.
And he wasn't gonna get over me actually sending him pictures of, you know what I mean?
No.
That was a boss move, I just want to say.
But here's the thing. The thing is that was a
And
dangerous
it was somebody he didn't like that I knew.
Dangerous? Why? Because he could have posted them?
No, it was dangerous because here's the reason why. All right. They're together. And you're gonna see, even though like it's the male ego, even though you go out and the man
It's so
goes,
fragile.
right? But you go out, you cheat, you email me pictures, and you have the nerve to meet with me and tell me, okay, if I can get over this, that's bull.
Yeah, because men are crazy. Like that's that snap shit that happens.
Yep.
I don't think he wanted to try her though.
It was right. It was the only thing I could do not to kill him. And I specifically, you know, someone who would like me around. Like he already had his eye on the dude. Like I don't like that guy, and I was like, "That's the guy I'm gonna call." Hey, what you doing this weekend?
So you set him up for failure. Oh my God.
Yeah, and he didn't even know why. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'll give you all the tea. He didn't even know why I was taking pictures during the lovemaking. He was kind of like, I'm digging this. I'm like, what are you like? He kept kind of like, it looks like she's not all there. And I wasn't all there. I was just like, click, hold on. Click. You know what I mean? Listen, I was like, now we gonna chill. Ahora tú tienes que bregar. It's either this or stab.
Oh. I love her so much.
That was the boss ass shit, though.
No.
I didn't have my face in it. But he knows my body. Your man knows your body.
Yeah, but the dude that was allow you to take the pictures.
Huh?
I said, why would he allow you to take the pictures though?
Because he thought it was a freaky shit. If I'm making love to a guy and I pull out a camera, he's not gonna say no. He gonna be like, "Woo!"
This is very true. This is true.
No. If he has something to lose, yes, he is gonna say no.
Why would he have something to lose? He was a regular single guy.
But that's what I'm saying. I said if the man
If he had something like if he was like a industry or a politician or
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. My signal sucks right now. Like you see, I'm in the dark, but I'm really not.
Oh,
I know. I'm in my basement, so.
Like, what are we talking about right now? What is going on? No, you have to that. It was, you know, it wasn't the highest point in my life.
I can relate.
You said what now?
I said I could relate to Jen, you know, being the side chick and not knowing.
It happens.
Yeah.
How do y'all not
like
know
with
that?
the African. What?
You said what now? You said he was African?
With an African.
Where was he
Oh my
from?
God, it's like a science. Like they have it wrapped to a science with this.
It's because it's part
what
of the
she was
culture.
talking about, yeah, I mean, but my thing is, like, I'm like Jen, like he was always there, always there. I mean, I'm talking about get off of work there. So you trying to figure out like what's going on, and I did the same thing with you. I got a phone call too, but this phone number was blocked. The phone number was blocked. I picked it up. I'm like, hello, and it's nobody answers, and then they call back again, and I'm at work. I'm actually at work. And I'm like, somebody called or whatever. And he was like, whatever. And so I get the phone call and she's like, hi, you know who this is? No, that's why I'm trying to figure out who it is, you know, because I'm like a jokester. Like so everything, I turn everything into a joke. So it's like, who is it? And she was like, well, I'm your do you know so-and-so, whatever? Of course I do. Well, did he tell you I was married? He was married? I said, for real? I said, so you're his wife? And she's like, yeah. And then she had the nerve to tell me, oh, so he played you. I said, no, sweetheart, he played you because you married him. Like, cause like I'm not really with him. It's easy for me to go away and get gone. Like it was crazy. I'm talking about you could never know, like that was like a 2-year type of thing and not know at all. Not at all.
That's crazy.
On his break, guess what? He was calling me. When he got off of work, he was there with me. Like anytime I would call him, I would do pop-ups, y'all. I was always there. I met friends, family. Like, come on. Like they have this wrapped to a science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For real. Like I'm not even trying to be jokeful. Like they have it wrapped to a science.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out to this day, it's been like what, 5 years now, still trying to figure out what he did.
He
like for real.
He just did what any normal cheating man would do.
I think with Mark, you keep, it's like, how didn't you know? I think you're confusing girlfriends with wives.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a wife, okay, if I am a wife and we live together, you are under my roof, I will know if you're breathing different. I will know if you're breathing different. But if I am your girlfriend and we're not sharing a home and I'm spending the night at your house and you spending the night at mine or whatever, and that's not the apartment, wife, there is no way we can know, but his wife can know.
For sure.
But not the girlfriend who's been around for 12 months. And we're still getting to learn this man.
Okay, so let me ask you
I will know different, walk different, eat different. Why are you folding your underwear like that? And that's different. You're in tune with somebody when you're married to them. And that's different. But a girlfriend getting to know somebody and not just crashing at each other's house like fucking sleepovers. Yeah.
But it's like if we've been intimate for a while and then all of a sudden some channel, like, wait a minute, where you learn that move from? If you have new moves, then we're like, hold up.
Yeah, like your wife will know. She could be in denial. She could be like, but you can tell. Like when you're in tune with your husband, you know when something is different.
Okay, quick question for you all. Let's just say the man was married and he was standing at your house, and so it's obvious he had no communication with his wife at all.
Right.
Did he not talk to her on the cell phone? Did he not text her back and forth?
I pick his phone up all the time.
Okay, but maybe he did. But if you're not, again, maybe he did. Like, I'm not on his phone. Who texting us?
Right. No. If you're a woman who you're so secure in who you are in your relationship, you're not checking who your man texting.
How does that even sound?
I mean,
the guy you're dating, who's that? That's wife behavior. Who's texting?
No, wait. That's not wife behavior. That's insecure behavior.
Well, I don't know, but then call me insecure because I want to know who texting us.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Who texting us at 11? Who wants to?
And at 11, ain't nobody got. You're right.
But
at 11 o'clock at night, that is wife behavior because it should know. Our phone stopped ringing at 10. Who was that? You're right.
Right.
Is it important?
You all do.
I think 10 is still too. That's too late too. 10 o'clock.
What you all do?
No,
you all do is
that's too late.
You all get the text, but you all put your phone on silent. Men, we stupid. We keep our phone on. And
Whose fault is that?
They have it on vibrate.
Now,
too.
but check this
They
out.
don't-
We slicker than y'all, okay?
way slicker.
Slicker than y'all, okay?
I'm
My
coming from this room right now.
not at all. That
What's
bitch
the word?
will break and the message will come in, and I'll be like this right next to you. We slicker than y'all.
We do this. You sitting there. Hey, babe. Yeah, girl. No. He right here. Okay, call me later.
Hey, yo,
I'll be on the phone texting the next dude and be like, yeah, they voted out on Facebook. Look at them go.
I
No,
will
this
say
thing-
I've
this
been that
thing-
girl, and I don't know if this is bad, but I've been to like my mother had, this was years ago. My mother had a Christmas party, and I didn't have a date, so I'm like, okay. So I invited this one guy. He said he couldn't make it. So bottom line, I ended up with 5 dates at the Christmas party. So my mom is laughing in one of my dates because he knows everything that's going on. Like laughing at me going from room to room, like trying to avoid getting them up. But ultimately, they were all in the same room, and nobody was even the wiser. Yeah, ain't no slick to a can of oil. So,
y'all break our hearts.
nah,
Oh,
you break your own hearts.
Oh, stop. Y'all got the nerve.
Yeah. So is that it, Jen?
I think that's it for today. It was a good run.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Deanna, the Zell.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you. Much respect.
Thank you for being here. It was fun. And you know, we do this every night, different subject.
Did not know that. First time seeing it.
Yeah.
Yes, every night, different subject. What was last night?
I can't even remember.
You don't remember what was last night?
I can't.
It was crazy. You know, it always goes crazy. But yeah, so every night, 6:30 CST, right? 6:30 Central.
Yeah, 30. We about to close out.
Okay.
Okay. Wait a minute, Jen, before you close out. Thank you. I'll take it.
Bye.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's close this out, Jen.
Okay, thank you everybody for watching on Facebook. Thank you for everybody on StreamYard. And please, 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 we love the opinions and the extra voices. So come on the panel. Please come on the panel next time we're on. Ladies, I know y'all like I'm quarantined. My hair ain't did. My makeup ain't did. Throw a baseball cap on and a hoodie. We'll take you as is. So please, we need y'all on here or else it's not a party. And thank you for joining us. And good night. Hasta mañana.